If you're a coach, consultant, or you sell any kind of high-ticket service online, this video is for you. On this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to automate every single step in your sales pipeline to get from DMs to actual paying clients, okay? So let's go. The first thing here that I want to show you, let's go from the top here, is I want to explain the real problem that you guys have. Because I have gone through this, I sold my own coaching myself, teaching English for high-ticket closers. So I actually know this problem really well. The main problem that I find is that we all think that we have a lead problem, meaning that we need more leads. But that's not always the case. What the problem is that we have a boundary problem, meaning that we allow access to basically anybody because we need to talk and create these conversations, right? Now, the problem is that this creates a situation where we open up our calendars to every single person. That means all kinds of ghosts, no-shows, and tire kickers that basically waste our time or are looking to get information, but they don't really have a high intent to find a solution. The problem here is that more leads without control actually lowers your close rate. And I actually found this out myself because the more you try to get as many people as possible, if you don't have some kind of filter system to actually qualify these leads, it's a mess because you end up basically answering the same questions all over and over again on sales calls. So you waste way more time either for yourself or for your closers. So this is the real problem. Now, how this backfires. So these low entry standards, what it does is it attracts low intent conversations, right? So you end up doing basically unpaid labor at this point, and you end up calling it a pipeline. More than volume is about optimizing the volume that you have, okay? So now, how much is this actually costing you? Because this is something that you need to think about. Now, the real cost isn't ads. It's actually the manual qualification process that you're wasting. So it's wasting so much time because you have to start manually qualifying these people. So you basically spend 15 to 30 minutes, burning on every single lead before you actually find out that it's a qualified lead. So this means that you basically end up wasting at least 2 hours a day on screening, right? So if you add that up, that adds up to about 10 hours a week. So that's about 40 hours a month at least if you keep doing this without a clear filter. So let's imagine that you're selling a 6K offer, 6K deal, and you're closing at a standard 25% close rate, right? So that means that you're basically wasting around $24,000 a week. You're losing around $100,000 a month. And this is just a matter of optimization, of filtering, okay? So I just want you to keep this on the back of your head at this point, okay? Now, there's also other things because this kind of workflow also creates what's called context switching. And what context switching does is it drains your energy and it hurts your call quality as well. Either for yourself or for your closers, because basically what I mean by context switching is basically switching between different tasks, because when you have to qualify and figure things out about the prospects manually, you're basically jumping from a tab to another and from a platform to another, so you're basically draining your energy. So when the time comes for you to face the prospect on a real sales call, then you're already a little bit burned. And if you keep doing that systematically, then that can actually hurt the performance of you and your ability of closing these prospects, right, on sales calls. So all this fatigue actually compounds, and it drags you down, and it drags down your conversion rates on sales. Now, the fix, obviously, is building some kind of system, some kind of infrastructure before you start getting more leads. Of course, you need more leads, but that will come later, because before we need to optimize the conversion process of the leads that you already have, okay? So you should stop buying louder megaphones and basically ads. You should stop investing so much money on ads and invest a little bit of money in optimizing the prospects that you're already getting. So the way to do this nowadays is you basically have to install some kind of AI layer in between your inboxes and your calendar. So meaning all the different inboxes in your DMs, so Instagram, LinkedIn, email, TikTok, or whatever X, whatever you use. We have systems in place for every single social media platform, and this works on autopilot. We tested this magic, okay? So the purpose of this is to filter and to prep and to control the access, right? The great advantage of this is that it runs 24/7 consistently without adding any more extra headcount in your business. This is gonna basically filter out all those time wasters, so that when the time comes for the prospect to land on the closer's calendar or on your calendar, you're gonna know 100% that this is gonna be a good conversation, and you're not gonna waste so much time on discovery. We actually broke this down into different gates, different doors, right? Because to make sure that the lead is as qualified as possible, we need to make different filters across this path, right? Now, the first filter is obviously the instant response, because this is a huge one. So basically, our AI system responds in seconds across many different channels. It's gonna ask a few qualifying questions, a few short questions, like an actual human DM setter would. But these questions are gonna be really customized and personalized for your business model and your customer avatar and your ideal market, right? So we will actually make sure that we customize all of these questions. We will create like a knowledge base of all the different kinds of questions and the different mental models that would work for your business specifically, and we will make sure that these questions sound as human as possible, so that the prospect actually feels comfortable about interacting with this thing, right? Once we know if the prospect is qualified or not, we will use different triggers so that we basically let go of the time wasters and we open the next door for the qualified prospects. Now, the second door is scoring and calendar protection. Now, this is important because basically we came up with a system, with a scoring system, right? With a rubric that will qualify all of these leads, all of these prospects based on a different criteria, so that we know, like mathematically, if they are a good prospect or if it's worth for you to take them on an actual sales call, okay? Like the budget, the urgency, the clarity, the market fits. So if they are a hot lead, they will obviously go straight into your calendar. If they are a warm lead and they might need a little bit of nurturing in between before they actually get on a sales call, we can actually get them onto like an email sequence or like a nurture sequence that we can establish. And if they are more of a cold lead, then basically we will actually give them some free resources based on whatever you got going on in your business, or we would just let them go, but always with a way so that they feel that we actually care about every single person that goes through the pipeline. The calendar unlocks only above the threshold that we establish for every single level of fit and qualification, right? Now, what this means is that there's going to be fewer calls, but higher close rate. And this is the key idea. Because once we nail this down, we have other systems to do more outbound, right? To do automated outbound as well, so that we can implement this optimization on any new leads that you start getting either from ads or from call outreach and outbound systems, right? Which we can also provide. The third door on this system is the pre-call preps. We'll make the prospect fill out a form if they're a good fit. We'll make them fill out a form to collect their goals, their problems, their budget, get more context on their situation, right? And then there's an optional quick validation step for them. It's going to do two things. Basically, the closer, or you as a business owner, you will get access to all of this information like on a nicely formatted form. So you will know in advance how to face this prospect based on their specific customized needs. And then also for them, because they already took the time to fill out all this information, they're going to feel like they already went through the whole thing in their head. So basically, it's going to be more like a summary. So the discovery phase on this actual sales call, not only are they going to be a better fit from the get-go, but you're going to waste way less time on this discovery phase because it's going to be more like a summary, like, going through everything that they already filled out, just to clarify a few things, maybe 5 minutes, instead of maybe spending 15-20 minutes on discovery if you did not have any information whatsoever before this sales call, right? Basically, it becomes more of like pushing people to a decision. So instead of being so much of an interview. Now, the final door would be the post-call automation. We have built another automation, another system that will actually send, based on, it will pull out all this information that we have collected from the actual sales call and the pre-call and the pre-sales call form. And then it will come up with a proposal and send in any kind of invoice or proposals or anything like that, or agreement or contract, so that you don't have to do anything. So basically, whatever has been talked about, it will be actually extracted, and then based on the different requirements that you have, we will send them whatever is required. If it's a proposal, a contract, an agreement, or whatever, and then do some, in case this is also necessary, we'll send follow-ups immediately. You don't have to like make a note for yourself, oh, I need to send them this. No, the system will send everything that is required on autopilot. And then also the payment link, the payment tracking, and any reminders are also handled automatically. So this is way faster. So basically what this means, this translates into faster time to cash and fewer lost deals because of this. You're going to have actually less calls, but better buyers, so that your conversion is going to be way higher. There's going to be a higher close rate without more traffic. The sales cycles on your end are going to be shorter. You're going to have less fatigue and less energy draining because you're going to have more control over the kind of prospects, and then your process feels premium also on the prospect side, on the prospect's eyes, right? Because access is earned, because they need to go through a few hoops, so they feel, okay, so these guys are serious, because otherwise they would just let me access like straight away, right? So this is how it works. You create this premium feeling about your brand and your business, and you also save a lot of time and also energy on your end as well. So if you want to know how this works, book a call, go to the link on the description and book a call with me, and we will take a look into your business and tell you exactly how this pays for itself with just one single client.